What's up, football fans? Welcome back to the Bengal and Goliath. We are officially in playoff football. We have finished out the regular season. This is going to be a little bit of a different episode. We will not have the jungle in the meadow, obviously, because there's nothing really to say about the Bengals and Giants right now. We're just going to get right into recapping the playoff games, and yeah, we're going to go ahead and start there.
Hello? Dude, the Cowboys still suck.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll start with around the league. You want to kick us off?
Yeah, do we want to just go in order?
Yeah, let's go in order.
So first game we had Saturday afternoon was Rams-Panthers. Closer than the public probably saw it going. I don't think we thought it was going to be you mentioned that, especially you mentioned that the Panthers covered the 10 points, so probably a little closer than what we were expecting, though, I think. Watching the game, I really just feel like it's just a matchup problem. After seeing them lose to them once and then it being this close now, I may be overlooking something. I just don't think the Panthers are that good to contend with who a lot of people think might be a Super Bowl favorite right now. Twice, beat them once and make it close. So I think that it goes to show that matchups can do a lot, and I think this was just a really bad matchup for the Rams, but they were able to get through, able to pull through. Stafford looked a little shaky at times, but he finished with a good stat line. He threw the one pick, had 303 touchdowns, so did what he needed to get the job done. And I think we got good Bryce Young. He's just not quite enough to get done with the Rams.
Do you think it's just a matchup problem, or do you think that the Rams just might be not as good as they were at a point during the year?
No, I definitely think they're still. I mean, I don't know what's gotten worse about them. I mean, if you go back,
Stafford?
what do you? No, I think he's fine.
I'm not saying he's bad. He's not playing at the clip that he was.
I mean, maybe he cooled off a little bit, but I mean, he still is really, really solid.
Yeah, agreed.
He's not playing so bad where the Panthers should beat you.
Correct.
That's my thing. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, I think the Rams are a good team, and I think the Panthers showed a lot of promise and a lot of if you're a Panthers fan, I would be excited and for next year. There's a lot of positives to take from the game.
100%.
And I mean, you just faced a really good juggernaut of an offense in the NFC, and I'm looking forward to the Rams-Bears matchup because I really do think it could go either way. I think the Rams probably win that game, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears defense can give them some fits, figure out some of that. If the Bears defense plays like it did in the second half against the Packers, I think the Rams could be in for a game.
If the Bears play how they did in the second half versus the Packers, the Bears are going to be Super Bowl champs. So the Bears played really, really good in that second half.
They did. Yeah, I think I'm interested to see how that matchup's going to go. But initially, I think that it was a good game for the Rams. They got the job done, and I think they're ready to get this season rolling, keep it going.
For sure. I think that was not I think out of that matchup both teams can come out happy in a sense. Like the Rams, you moved on, you have an older team, you have a more experienced team, you move on and you get to go on and push for Super Bowl. And the Panthers have to come out of that playoff game feeling somewhat good. You almost won. You look good, your young pieces look good. So I think the Panthers are in a good spot, and I think the Rams are still chugging, so
for sure. Okay. Second game of Saturday,
yes, Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. We had the Bears-Packers game. Man, what a fun game it was. We got to enjoy watching it with one of our friends who's a Bears fan, and we had a blast watching that game. I don't feel like any of us ever really counted the Bears out of that game. We kind of knew how the Bears had played all year. They kind of come from behind when you least expect it.
Yeah.
And in terms of the Packers, when you have that big of a lead going into halftime, it was like what 21-3 or something. If you're
So
leading by 18 going into halftime and you get the ball back, there's absolutely no reason you should ever lose a football game like that
a
ever.
100%. And it's not even like they went into the third quarter up 21-6. Like they let the Bears score 25 in the fourth quarter.
Hmm.
Like, don't get me wrong, I like the Bears, and I think the Bears are a good team, and I think their offense is good. But 25 points in one quarter,
Yeah,
it's unreal.
yeah. No, the just an absolute dud of a second half by the Packers. Matt LaFleur had some very bad coaching in this fourth quarter, just spending timeouts, using that timeout on defense with like 2 minutes and change left was just so
Yeah.
poor. But I mean, to talk good about the Bears, Caleb Williams looks like he is the guy. I mean, he shows so much
Hmm.
poise and so much just relaxation in those high leverage moments, and he just continues
Yeah.
to prove himself time in and time again. And I think that the Bears could be a serious team to reckon with if they get bounced this year to the Rams. I think the Bears could retool and come back strong next year.
For sure. I think that's a good game where you look at home field a lot. Like I think if we're in Lambeau, it's the Packers 100%. Like I think the Bears having home field for that game and being able to turn around and having home field against the Rams is very huge for the Bears. So I think shout out Bears for having a good regular season because I think after watching that game, I feel like Chicago might have gave the biggest foot forward in terms of having home field advantage.
For sure. For sure. Um, okay, we can talk about Sunday. First game we had was Bills Jaguars.
Best game first. Kind of crazy that they did that.
I figured a lot of people kind of knew this game was going to be one of the best ones, and it kind of
Yeah.
proved to be. I think that was probably the toughest matchup for the Jags to start the playoffs. I think that there were other teams that would have given them fits, but in terms of like I don't know, as a like coaching staff on the Jaguars, you know that in order for the Bills to win this game, it had to all run through Josh Allen.
Hmm.
And it just didn't really seem like the Jaguars could like control the clock. Like the run game did well, but they didn't really make an avid attempt to slow down the game and keep the ball on their side. And they just kept
Hmm.
giving the ball back to Josh Allen, and obviously it turned out for a win for the Bills.
Yeah, I did think the Bills would get this one done. I just keep going back to the best quarterback in the playoffs is on the Bills. Um, like especially in the AFC, I know Drake May or Stafford is going to win MVP, but the best quarterback in the playoffs is on the Bills. And when you go into a game where you know it's going to be close, like next week against the Broncos, like you take the better quarterback. At least and that's my philosophy in the playoffs. You see it like I think the only game where I'm like, oh, that didn't really check out would be probably the Packers Bears. You could probably argue that Jordan Love's better than Caleb at this moment. But that one's even close in itself. Like so you could probably argue for Caleb there too. But overall, like the better quarterback wins in the playoffs. Drake May beat Herbert, Josh Allen beat T Law, Purdy beat Jalen Hurts. Like the best quarterbacks win when it's playoff time.
Sure.
I think that's what that game
Yeah.
came down to.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fun game. Like, we were talking about it earlier at dinner. Just like Shavers tearing his ACL and coming back out to play is just insane.
Wild.
You had the throw that Josh Allen made to Brandon Cooks off his like back leg. He threw it before Brandon Cooks had even turned. Like
Yeah.
that throw was just unreal.
Hmm.
And like the field goal that they rushed to try and hit when there was somehow a second left on the clock, and then he ended up missing it, and then the Jags ended up losing by 3. Like it's just like
Yeah.
every little thing that happens in these playoff games can prove to be the reason you win or lose.
100%. I think the Jags are almost in the same boat as the Panthers, and I know Jags fans don't want to hear that, but you got to remember your team's young, you have a new coach. Like I know, like when you say Jags, you say Panthers, you don't think of the same situation, but they really are in similar situations. So I think you come out of this game happy. You guys did really, really good this season. You guys outperformed what everyone thought you'd do. You had a home playoff game. It sucks that you lost, but next year, you guys are going to be just fine. You have a lot to look forward to. Liam Cohen seems like the guy for the job down there.
I think so. I think Liam Cohen's going to be an incredible coach for the Jags. All right. Well, then the second game we had on Sunday was 49ers Eagles.
Down goes Philly. Freaking hate Philadelphia, man. Get them out of the playoffs. They're such a bum of a team.
Yeah, we've had a lot of talks about this game. There's just so much that went wrong for Philly, whether it was Patullo's play calling, Jalen Hurts' inability to make a throw, A.J. Brown's drops.
Yeah.
There was a magnitude of different things. Jake Elliott being the worst extra point kicker in playoffs history.
That is unreal.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable what Kyle Shanahan has been able to do with the amount of injuries that the 49ers have had this year. The fact that they're one win away from going to the NFC Championship game. I don't personally think they're going to beat the Seahawks, but in a world where they do, I mean, even if they don't, like the season that they've had right now, given everything that they've gone through, is just absolutely magnificent.
100%. I told Ethan, I told him that I would spend a month in jail if it meant that I got Kyle Shanahan to be the Giants coach until for as long as I choose. I think Kyle Shanahan, what he can do with the football team is unreal. I think he's phenomenal at his job, and he might be the best in the NFL.
1 month. You would spend 1 month.
A month in jail because I would spend.
You realize how long a month is, right? That's
I do.
30 fucking days.
I could do 30 days in jail, and then the next decade of football, we'd be competent. The next 2 decades of football, we'd be good. Think about what before we went in to the game against Philly, before Sunday's game against Philly, could you name me one 49ers defensive player that was playing?
No, probably not.
And don't get me wrong, Salah, Salah's DC, but in the offense is banged up as well. We know DeMarcus Robinson. He found a way to get DeMarcus Robinson 100 yards. He found a way to get Juszczyk catching some crazy balls. He found a way to scheme up stuff for Juszczyk, Tonjes. His wide receiving core was Tonjes, DeMarcus Robinson, Kyle Juszczyk, CMC, Kendrick Bourne. That's who he's doing this stuff with.
I know. It's nuts. It's absolutely unbelievable. I get it.
A month. I do 30 days.
A month is just nuts.
It's probably a little crazy, but that's how bad I want to see the Giants good at football for a consistent basis.
I admire your willingness to want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, if I had Zach Taylor, I'd really want to do it.
That was unnecessary. Fuck you, bro. All right. So yeah, 49ers moving on. They're going to be playing the Seahawks. As for the Eagles, I know Patullo is already fired. I think that they can just retool and make a push for it again next year. I don't think they're in a bad spot at all. That defense is absolutely elite, and they have just a ton of playmakers.
Yeah, I think they're in one of the weirdest spots though, because they have the most expensive offense in the NFL, and their offense is the problem. So I think a good OC probably fixes a lot of that, but at the same time, it's A.J. Brown's gonna walk. So do you need to replace him? How important was he? Can you just fill him in with some role guys and Devonta be the guy? Is Bigsby, is he good enough to kind of take over for Saquon next year? Does Saquon have more in the tank? Is the O-line still young enough to stay healthy? Is Jalen Hurts a high school quarterback, or is he actually an NFL quarterback? Like you said, their defense is good, but I think they're one of the most up in the air teams because they've spent the most money on offense of anyone in the league, and that's what's not winning them games. That's what's holding them back. So I think a good OC really helps, but at the end of the day, you can't put that all on an OC.
Fair. All right, well, we can talk about the Sunday night game. Chargers drop to the Patriots. I don't think anybody expected the Chargers to win this game.
No, offense.
I was just
The,
gonna say, people have made jokes all year about the Patriots not beating winning record teams, and while that is true, you can't argue with it. I Everybody, I'm pretty sure, was aware that they are much better than this Chargers team.
yeah, this is just the Chargers team needs to play teams that don't like the Chargers of the teams they could have drawn. They needed to play who would have been their best bet. They couldn't have played the Jags. Didn't want to play the Patriots. You'd probably want to play. Shoot, who am
I
I
don't
forgetting?
I don't know if they would have beaten any team. Their offensive line is absolutely abysmal, and I don't think they could have gone up against a good defense. Like the best team they probably could have played would have been
The
the
Steelers.
I was gonna say the Bills, but I
But
don't think they beat the Bills.
I was thinking of teams that they could have played between Steelers, Jags, and Patriots. Like if they would have got if they
Yeah,
them and the Texans trade places, just because the Steelers defense is good, but it's the worst out of the three, and they just couldn't play someone that could get pressure because
sure.
that O line is just really rough. It makes play calling hard. It makes it hard on Justin Herbert to do anything down the field. You basically have to dink and dunk, and then they can just shape up to it. They could really crowd the box, just make it hell for that offense. They really need to fix that O line. I saw a thing that said it was a tweet, and it said there's like 1 million overweight people in this world, and the Chargers couldn't find five to cover or block for Justin Herbert.
Yeah, the Chargers offensive line is one of the biggest jokes that I've seen since the Bengals offensive line that went to the Super Bowl. Um, I I mean, I'm not going to say that it's all the O-line's fault because the Bengals had a if not worse offensive line and Joe Burrow took them to a Super Bowl.
This one's worse.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's a good O-line. I'm just saying that
Yours was terrible. Yours was terrible.
can I say that it's impressive for what Burrow did?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not saying there's a big gap. Like your O line was atrocious that year, but I do think this Chargers O line is a little worse.
What a dud. I wonder if they fixed that O line if they were able to beat the Patriots in this game, but I don't know. The Patriots just kind of handled them pretty easily.
I think if you give them an average O line, like a top 15 pass block, top 15 rush block, just middle, I think that it's got to be at least close because their
Oh,
defense is really
right. Yes.
good. It held their offense as what 16 points. Granted, they
Yeah,
felt no
something like that.
pressure. They didn't have pressure to score, but like still,
Yeah,
the Chargers' defense was elite.
for sure. Yeah.
So that's the Patriots. Now they got who? They got the Texans.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good one.
I know. Well, we can talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
Final game of the weekend was Texans Steelers. We got to watch that last night. Um, I mean, if the Texans find a way to go to the AFC Championship game, let alone the Super Bowl, this defense has got to be one of the best of all time because watching them play, watching, like Trevor said earlier, watching the safeties fly around, watched Will Anderson and Hunter get pressure off of the edge, just put quarterbacks in hell. I mean,
Alshire. Uh,
the defense is genuinely unbelievable. Like playing against the Texans, it's got to be hell.
it's I haven't seen anything like it. I really haven't. And maybe that's like the young in me talking. I'm sure there's someone who watches and be like the 97 Steelers defense was like this and it was better. But in my time, really able to watch a game, this is the best defense that I've seen.
Correct.
It is impressive what they're able to do.
It's incredible. I just think, I mean, they're playing the Patriots, so
If
I
I'm the
mean,
Patriots, I'm not happy about this.
no, I mean it's gonna be like if C.J. Stroud plays like that, the Patriots will win. The Patriots are too
Yeah,
good of a team and too good of a coach team to not capitalize on mistakes like that.
yeah. And we're both big Steelers suck. Like we did not like the Steelers in the playoffs. We knew that this would happen. But it was, what was it? It was 7-6 going into the fourth quarter. CJ Stroud had played the worst game he could have, and they won by 27. No,
Hmm.
24. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. it's CJ Stroud literally probably played the worst game he's ever played in the NFL. He fumbled like 12 times and threw one or two picks, and
I
they
mean,
still crushed the Steelers. It wasn't even a game in the
I
fourth quarter.
mean, they sacked him like 4 or 5 times. They had 2 touchdowns. They had a pick. They had like 10 TFLs. I swear, I felt like every other freaking tackle was a TFL.
Gainwell was just
They,
getting blown up.
they had 4 fumbles recovered.
Yeah,
Is
it was
unreal.
nuts. It was nuts. So, yes, the Texans are unbelievable, and I think the Texans can really make some noise and could potentially send the Patriots packing. So, that is one game that I'm quite excited for.
For sure.
But
Um,
Tomlin is done. Now, Zach Taylor is the only coach remaining in the AFC North. I cannot believe that because I believe he is the worst coach out of the four that were in the AFC North, and it's astonishing that he still has his job.
yeah.
But Tomlin is out. Steelers are going to be finally the mid team that they deserve to be, I hope. I think it would be hilarious if Arthur Smith gets bumped up to the head coaching job and it's a disaster like it was in Atlanta. Um, yeah, I mean, fuck the Steelers. I don't fuck them.
Yeah, they're just not that great of a team. Like I think everyone knew that. I think everyone knows that. Tomlin was just really good at winning 8 to 10 games.
Yep. Um, okay, well, we recap the games. Last thing we can do real quick is we can go ahead and give our predictions for this upcoming weekend.
Yeah. So I went 5-1. I was pretty close. So like my stuff doesn't change too much. I can just kind of roll it over to what I said last week. I can't remember if I ended up picking Patriots or Texans just because I think I went back and forth because I think that's the matchup I had. And I think after watching the Texans defense, I kind of want to say Texans. Like I kind of want to
Yeah.
say Texans. I think the Texans might get the Patriots.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Keep going. You can finish yours.
Okay, and then I mean the Bills are going to beat the Broncos. The Broncos were never going to win a playoff game, and I think this might be the worst team they could have played in the first round. Like the Broncos were never going to win a playoff game, and I feel bad for Broncos fans, but I am so confident that like they are the worst number one seed maybe of all time. They might be the worst 14 win team of all time. They are their margin of I saw something and I wish I saved it now that it was like against the Giants, Raiders, Jets, Titans, and like the Aludican led Chiefs. They won by a total margin of 14.
For those who may have missed it, Trevor has said that if the Broncos somehow beat the Bills, he will be doing the 24-hour Waffle House challenge. So he is putting his money where his mouth is.
Yeah, I mean I'll do so because I don't see a world where this is even remotely. It's probably a close game. It's the playoffs, and playoff games are close. But I'm pretty confident in the Bills getting it done here in Mile High. If the Broncos prove me wrong, hey, the Broncos prove me wrong. But I've been on them since about week 10, week 11. I haven't been confident in them. I haven't been confident in Bo Nix. Like I said again, lean the better quarterback. I haven't been confident in Bo Nix. I'm leaning Josh Allen. Bills are gonna get her done, and then that make it Bills Texans, and then I think the Bills go to the Super Bowl. Um, and then on the AFC or the NFC side, I think Rams edge it out over the Bears. I think that's a really good matchup. I'm not quite as 50-50 on it as Ethan is, but I also wasn't as 50-50 on I mean, Ethan wasn't 50-50, but I wasn't as close on the Rams Panthers as he was, and he was a lot close. Like he knew it would be close, and I didn't think it'd be that close. So I might be just really high on the Rams, but I think it's Rams, and then I think the Seahawks edge it out over the 49ers. I'm a big Kyle Shanahan guy, and I harp on quarterbacks, and I haven't seen Sam Darnold in a postseason game that's impressed me. So I'm gonna lean Seahawks, though. I think they're the good team. I think they're the better team, and then that make it Seahawks Rams in the NFC Chip. I just I think I don't know what week I had it in my mind. I want to say maybe like 14 to 16, somewhere in there, where I watched the Rams and I just kind of like said, you know what, this is gonna be a Super Bowl team, and it's just I can't get that out of my head, so I'm gonna go Rams over Seahawks. I think I love McVay. I think he's a good coach. I think Matt Stafford's a better quarterback. I think they probably have a more powerful offense than the Seahawks, and then I think the defenses are fairly equal. I think Seattle's is probably a little bit better rounded with secondary and everything included. I think that's a good matchup, though. I think that NFC Championship, if it does end up being Rams Seahawks, I think that's a really good game. And then I think it's Rams Bills, and I think Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay get their second one with the Rams.
There we go. Um, I'm near that. Kinda. I think that the Broncos will personally beat the Bills, but I think it's going to be a nail biter. I just think that the Bills could play like they did against the Eagles, where a good defense kind of shut down Josh Allen, and then if an offense is good enough to edge it out, I don't think the Broncos will make it to the Super Bowl. I believe that whoever wins Patriots Texans is probably good enough to beat the Broncos. And I really do see a world where the Texans could be going to the Super Bowl. It just really depends if CJ Stroud can just lock it in and be better on offense. But on the NFC side, I think the Seahawks handle the 49ers easily. I don't really have a doubt in my mind on that game. And I lean Rams, but again, I said 51-49 for Packers. I'm thinking like 56-44 for Rams. Like I think it's close. So I'm a Bears believer. I'm an Iceman believer. So I don't know. I guess I'm more just like I didn't do too hot on my picks last week. I had Eagles to win. I had Jags to win. So I'm a little bit less confident on my own picks, but I guess we'll see how it Pans out.
Yeah, we stayed different in the first round. I got the better of it. We're staying different in the second round, so we'll see if
We'll
I get the
see.
better of it again.
We'll see. Yep. Well, that is our wild card recap and divisional round predictions. Stay tuned for the Bills Broncos matchup because we could be seeing Trevor hanging out in Waffle House for quite some time if the matchup doesn't pan
Oh
out either way.
man. Oh, that'd be brutal. I haven't done it before. Ethan's done it before. He told me
Yeah,
I was crazy, so I
yeah, it's
might be
not fun.
crazy.
It's not fun. So, all right. Well, that's about I think all we've got for you guys this week. We'll be back next week with a recap of the divisional round. But it's been some good football, and we're looking forward to watching some more.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's playoff football. I loved it. I loved all this whole weekend just sitting around watching football, watching good games.
Yeah. All right. We will be back next week, and we'll catch you guys. We'll catch you guys soon.